Honest Wargamer. You can come to us if you want first, John. That's not a problem. But hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Game 5. This is round 5.
Round 5, because it's Game 10.
Of Sheffield Slaughter. Yeah, Game 10 of the coverage.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
moving across
we're rushing a tad. Because we got some stuff to say. So I'm Rob, and this is the wonderful Miss Adam Kunis.
Hi.
Hello. I hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage from the Sheffield Slaughter. We've got loads more coverage coming up this year on the Honest Wargamer. Now, there are in contention 2 tables that can potentially win the tournament. The top bracket, the 2 contenders are Mr. Mark Wildman with his Beast of Chaos, which is, so the Beast of Chaos list is important because it's replicated again on table 2. Yeah, but so these 4 players all have 4 major victories. So these people win. So Mark Wildman is against Mr. Ben Johnson with a brand new Flesh Eater Courts army. Yeah, we weren't asking them to go on the other table, but Ben refused to come on the show. Okay. So unfortunately, we're going to carry on with Nikos' story.
We're carrying on with Nikos' story.
Yeah, which is, I prefer, to be honest. Yeah, I just know you guys probably
I was
like
gutted to not watch Nikos' game in the previous round.
So there we go.
While I was wandering around in the room.
So that's exciting. Hi Lubo. But, and this is what's key, on table 2 you have the current Age of Sigmar English, except for London, Master. It's the 10 casting that we saw on the table before, right?
Yeah.
Right, so that's really interesting, and we see that in the game before. Now, here's where we get to the sticking point. Now let's go to the table, John, and let's do some conversation. Let's talk about this scenario. This scenario is called the better part of Valour, and what and that the scenario map's wrong, but John's going to fix that.
Okay.
Because there are, as you can see, 6 objectives. There we go.
Very nicely, equally placed.
Equally placed-ish.
Sort of.
Sort of. It's not going to matter.
They're not going to be there long.
No, they're not going to be there long. So the way it works is what you do is you deploy, and then you're able to burn the objectives. If you hold them for a turn, you get a point. Hold 2, you get 2. Hold 3, you get 4.
And if you hold them for 5 battle rounds, it's 8, right?
8 points, exactly. Now, a tactic, I suppose, or, and I think this is key, a scenario weakness.
Okay.
Yeah, is that what have your opponent's objectives on the first turn, you can win without your opponent ever having a go.
Great.
So what's really interesting is this Ghoul King himself, Pete Souza, when he travelled over to Warhammer World Heat.
Right.
At that point, Dan was running 90s angle, and what he did is he just rolled a bunch of 6s for his Destiny dice, which was a Zeech build.
Yeah.
He then just ran it all forward, burned the objectives, and won the game.
So use those 6s in place of run rolls.
Exactly.
Great.
And then won the game. In this situation, Dan doesn't have a Zeech army, he has a Beast of Chaos army.
But it's quicker, right?
It is quicker, correct, yeah. So he's got the Zangor, so he's got 2 units and 9 enlightened. And what they're going to be able to do, and what was really interesting when we read the scenario, we said, oh, hey guys, who's got the most drops? And Tom has 9 drops and Dan has 8. So Dan's going to get to choose to go first. So what Dan's going to do, and so Dan's won the game, by the way.
Before they've even deployed their models.
What Dan's going to do is he's going to go forward, he's going to burn the objectives, and win the game.
So the question then, A, that's amazing. But B,
I mean, well done right now.
Well done.
Well done.
Good maths, and you spotted that kind of as they spotted that, so we weren't kind of going, ooh, why are they in the bar? Before we even started the stream. The question though really is, do you think that will then be let's go to the bar, or considering where they are and the potential result between Mark Wildman and Ben Johnson, do they actually need to play that out to make sure that they've got the most kill points possible? Because we could be looking at the situation at the top, couldn't we, where the kill points is going to make the difference.
That is going to be super impactful.
So the game's won, but is the event?
Yes, and that you're right. Thank you. That's a key element to the game, on how many victory points they can get. Similarly, and also what's really interesting is Mark and Dan are running the same Beast of Chaos list.
Right. Yeah.
So what you might see is a double same list go 1 and 2. In one way or the other, or you might have the game developer with advanced game knowledge, months of advanced knowledge of this particular Flesh Eater Courts book that's been out a week, also win the event. So either way, you've got a really interesting kind of like top 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we don't. So Tom's already lost this, so he's going to probably finish outside of the top 3 there, we think.
Potentially, yeah. Like, but his list is amazing. Like,
I love it, and
great. And
having those Skaven up there as well. Because I was expecting that we were going to have a couple of Feck and a couple of Skaven, and only having Ben Johnson's Flesh Eater Courts on those top 2 tables. Skaven actually are doing incredibly well to be there.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Doing really, really well. Like and Lee's list. I actually think, and me and Tom spoke about this off there. I think Tom's list gets better the more he plays it. The more he refines it, the more points he gets. The more he works on it. The stronger it's going to be. He's going to get better at it. He's going to know how to work it better. It's again, I was explaining this to Chuckleberry in the term before, and John maybe can come back to us, and I can explain it a little bit better through like a visual medium for everyone watching at home. So again, we do this. So what you do with a Flesh Eater Courts army, or with either Dan or Mark's army, is you take your army and you move it forward.
Now that's something that I can relate to. As an Order Draconis player, what you do is you take your army and you do that. I'm not even on camera, so I'll be on camera and do it. You do that. And it comes and it covers the whole camera as well, because you've actually just slapped them with your army in the face.
This is what it's like facing any of those armies.
Let's
go back to the table.
And it's a lot like Deepkin. You just got waves and waves and waves of stuff hitting you. It's pretty upsetting, I reckon.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, first it would upset me too.
The big question is, why aren't people running Free Guild Archers in mixed order and just stopping that from happening?
I mean, that's a really solid choice. Yeah, or I mean, Shadow Warriors do the same thing.
Ungor Raiders
do the same thing.
But then the better Beast list is just winning the game for free.
So we did the Beast of Chaos Battletome review, and what's super sad is it's really the Zangor Battletome review. So let's talk about the actual list then.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the list. So let's talk about Tom's list, because Tom's list is my it's my excitement. Yeah, it's 4 Vermin Lords.
Yes!
4 Screech Vermin King.
Oh my god.
Screech Vermin
Main
King.
character.
A Corruptor.
Yeah.
A Deceiver.
Yeah.
A Warpseer. The Warpseers in general.
One of each.
Yeah, a Warpseer. Well, there's not the Warbringer.
Yeah, but Scritch is from that clan, so he fills that role.
There you go.
There you go. Narrative, it's important.
There's no Moulder one.
Yeah, there's only really 4 clans. They've messed up their own fluff.
How dare you say that about Clan Moulder? Yeah. How do they make the Stormbeams?
That's one of the Master Clan isn't a real thing. That's been made up for AOS.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Is a real thing.
Do that in person. He's seen. So Pete in the chat has seen your dragons do. Do the move.
But what?
Also, Sure Charge is one of these as well.
Yeah. But Sure Charge isn't doing that necessarily with as many dragons, because theirs are so expensive.
Anyway, so
Vermin Lords.
So then each one of those is a level 2 caster, so able to cast 2 spells.
Excellent.
And there's a Grey Seer. Grey Seer is also a level 2 caster.
Is the Grey Seer on his feet, or is he on a bell?
He's on his feet.
Yeah. Oh, does the bell make it a Behemoth?
I haven't.
Which might mean he's not allowed that.
No. The bell would, because he's already got 4 monsters. Also, key point. This didn't happen in the last game, but if I was to be playing with Tom's list, at some point I would try and throw Screech Vermin King into a fight. And then I would obviously have a Grey Seer on the Doom Bell, and I'd have the Doom Bell save him in the fight. So Screech would have been saved by the bell.
Or the Doom Wheel, or the Screaming Bell?
Screaming Bell. So Screech would have been saved by the bell.
I love it.
Thanks, yeah.
That's great.
I did that joke last round.
If you're
Zach,
tuning in
again.
Kelly.
You're Zach. I'm AC Slater.
Fantastic.
So he's got the 4. So he's casting 8 spells. Grey Seer is casting 10 spells.
That's a lot.
He's got Skitter Leap twice. Skitter Leap's on the Grey Seer. Skitter Leap is also 2 different types of Skitter Leap as well.
And the interesting thing there is a change from previously. I don't believe that they have the demon keyword anymore on the Vermin Lords. Is that correct? Because they didn't used to be able to Skipper Leap themselves.
No, but they now can. So yeah, Skitter Leap. Skitter Leap is on the Deceiver, and the Skitter Leap is also, but it's a different Skitter Leap. So he is going to be able to Skitter Leap 2 different Skaven units a turn if the spells go off. He also has got 5 endless spells. You have at this point the absolutely crazy Warp Lightning Vortex, which is just so impactful.
Yeah.
You've then got Skaven Tide. You've also got Shackles. You've also got Geminids. So just loads and loads of capacity to do. And we saw last turn we did some move blocking occur, which was stopping some of those units from charging in. That's not going to really affect Dan because Dan's army is so blisteringly quick.
And quite a lot of it's flying as well, right?
Yeah. Now, if the warp storm does go off, then that is going to shut down his ability to fly, which is going to be key. Now,
but he may have got there already if Dan's taking that first turn.
Yes, he's going to have got
nice triangles going on, so that's visually pleasing to Skaven players everywhere. That is their symbol.
Maybe Tom's just like, I know I've lost, I'm going for the story mode. Yeah.
Tom Maudsley, ETC England captain, is going for the story mode. Is that what you're saying at this time, Rob?
It is what I'm saying.
Right, okay, good. I'm glad we've got to this point then.
It is what I'm saying. Yeah, it does shut down your flying.
Right.
If you're affected by the
Warp Gale?
No, yes, so either the Endless Spell or Warp Gale, if that's cast. You've also got the Horde Clear as well. Now, the Verminlord Corruptor is going to be a really big impact.
Yeah.
Because there is also, as well as the 2 units of 9 Enlightened, there are 30 Zangor, which is 60 wounds.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say the key element of the Skaven list in this situation is opponent Max. He had the Sure Charge list with Sequitors.
Yeah.
So loads and loads of Sequitors, of which he got back 3 different units. So he got 60 back. He did eventually table down, but it took till turn 5 to give you some indication of the resilience of the Enlightened.
Yeah. Nothing hits harder than that.
No. And then, there is one thing: a Ghoul King or a Zombie Dragon.
Oh, we've met him.
Yeah, he hits harder.
Particularly the Gristle King. Gristle Gore is amazing.
He hits harder than anything in the game. However, 60 wounds in there, 4 wounds each in the Enlightened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
So 36
in
wounds.
Units of 9.
Yeah, in units of 9.
Extreme power.
So yeah, absolutely. And then you've got a Herdstone. You've obviously also got the Shaman. So what they're going to be able to do is they get it because they're gore. Yeah. They get an extra 3 inches to their movement just because of the Shaman.
Great.
Yeah. Happy
That's
with that?
Fine.
Yeah. And
to charge.
There's also a Zangor Shaman as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's in the list. So those are the 2 lists. Oh, sorry, I was talking about the Corruptor. The Corruptor is, which I'm pretty certain there because of the sides. You can see that. He's really key because what he can do, his spell, is you roll a dice for every model in the unit, so that would be great on these Zangor. On a 4+, take a mortal wound. So he'll do 30 mortal wounds on average into that, but he'll only kill 15 Zangor.
Because they have 2 wounds.
Because they have 2 wounds each.
So again, as before, he's going to need to be doing that for a few turns before there is a numerical superiority.
Exactly. Now, what I find quite interesting is the Zangor here have decided to... sorry, not the Zangor. Tom has decided to put both 2 Vermin Lords. He's kind of gone for this formation, and he's decided to pin in two units of Clan Rats, and then pin in 2 Vermin Lords either side.
And I think that's super smart, actually, looking at it, because if those Enlightened hit that screen, he's going to struggle to pile in and actually hit the Clan Rats, meaning that 2 of them might kill 10, 15, but he's still going to have more models behind the Vermin Lords, not allowing that objective to actually be burned efficiently.
Yes. He also, what Dan faces, and this is really interesting as well, what Dan faces is an activation choice, because what Tom wants Dan to do is activate his units first.
Yes.
Because if he can do that, then what he means is he's not going to get the re-rolls, because Enlightened, unlike Skyfires, they re-roll
if they go second in the after somebody that they're
after someone else, and it doesn't have to be after everyone, just after someone.
Yeah.
So by limiting the choices, what really has happened here in this situation is Tom has protected either this or either this. Now he's also deployed deep enough here that what Dan has to do is get quite a big move.
He's got to commit there, hasn't he?
And commit there, so then he can burn 1 and 2. Now we
know where the Shaman is on disc.
Shaman
I think he's sitting at the back down there,
right there.
So he's far away from that other Enlightened group, and Tom's responded, I think, by leaving them short, because the buffs from the Shaman is what's going to guarantee killing that unit if he gets in. So that's really on dice over there.
So again, this scenario is pretty poor because of army builds. Personally, I think it should be in packs. That's just being honest, and it's and this game is more than likely over in the first turn. That's what I would say is going to happen.
I think so, but if we're looking at Tom's deployment, I think Tom's deployment is...
So Dan's taking the first turn.
Yeah, as we thought.
As we thought. So don't forget, because he's in BC Chaos, he's going to... This is such a dumb army, and it is such a dumb scenario. Right, there we go, look at this. Right, he's going to move these.
It's going to be here.
Yeah, so all he has to do is he has to get within range to burn that objective with more models than his opponent. That's what he's looking to do. What do you think? Do you think that's going to get work for him?
I think it is. I think Tom's done what he needs. It's an uphill battle.
So if you've just joined us, you've got 2 units of 9 Zangor, you've got 30 in light. 30 Zangor, 2 units of 9 in light, and there was also some Gore.
Yeah.
They're key because he has to hold his own objectives as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not forget about that, because what he doesn't want is he doesn't want one of these characters
skitterleap over there.
Yeah, and then go and grab an objective. He doesn't want any of them popping through a warp tunnel. Yeah, of which, if you look, Tom quite cleverly...
Another triangle.
Yeah, another triangle. Well done there. Let's just do that. So is he Nerdle? We can't decide.
Well, it's also the Skaven symbol from Tom's point of view.
Yeah. But so he could potentially teleport through there and then go and burn one of those objectives. So he...
And then teleport through there and burn the other.
Yeah, so Danny is going to have to be careful. So he might not be able to do both hands forward.
And you know Mr. Bradshaw well. Would you say he's a careful man?
I would say he is a man of the moment.
I see. So I think we have a game on.
You think Tom's studious is enough to wait?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So played correctly, this game should be over.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a good setup. Come on. You guys at home have got me excited. Played correctly, this game should be over.
They're excited because I think the rugby's on in a bit as well.
Tune on. The rugby. International viewers won't be caring about the rugby. They call it the wrong shape ball. Egg ball.
Yeah.
Why don't English play that egg ball? Or in France, le egg ball. Le egg belé.
Le bal de œuf. There you go. It's egg ball in French.
I appreciate that. It is for Vermin Lords if you've joined us, Colonel Cabbage.
Is that a Warp Lightning Cannon tucked in there as well?
It is a Warp Lightning Cannon.
So the Kill Points game is on, right?
Kill Points game is not on. Because you can't... No, what we're saying is...
No, I know he's won the major, but in terms of Tom's placing...
he doesn't have... Have you tried to kill 9 Enlightened?
No, right, so I'm appreciating that Tom is probably going to lose to Dan. So once we've assumed that, Tom at least has the tools. Forget the Enlightened. He's going to be able to take out Gore. He's going to be able to take out...
No!
He's going to be able to kill things.
No, so this is what you would call a swamp list.
Yes.
Right? So what it does is it goes... It's like the old Fire Slayers from AOS.
Yeah.
What it does, it goes, hello, I have more stuff than you can ever kill.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, well...
I'm not saying he's going to get those skill points. I'm saying that's the game he's got to play, is what can I actually gain in order to...
Look how fast they are.
Yes! It's amazing.
Yeah, they are.
They're across the middle already. That's not even a big charge, and it's got +3 to it. What I wouldn't give for Dragon Blades to have the Gore keyword.
What I really enjoy is Nathan is at the table watching armies move. What his dispossessed would move in a game
or a tournament
in a turn. They're fast.
How does that work?
So don't forget. And also, big shout out. I know you guys at home should be excited about this. On one of the tables in front of us is #Team Allen doing really well. Yeah, playing on the...
Excellent.
Yeah. With, I think, 3 or 4 majors under his belt. Oh, no, he's shaking his head. He said, no, this is not okay.
I don't know, but Stardrake versus Nagash is the game I'm excited about, especially when it's happening just next to us.
A bit of Hand of Dust. A bit
of Stardrake, Rain of Starsing on him and killing him.
So everyone's asking how I'm moving that fast. So, run and charge, yeah? Gore, the Shaman adds...
Great Brace Shaman adds 3
inches.
And you need the keyword Gore.
Yeah, and you can run and charge.
Great.
Yeah, so movement 14 Skyfires.
Movement 16 Enlightened.
Sorry,
I have 16 on there.
Movement 16 Enlightened, thank you. +3.
19. That's fine. How far apart do they start in this
scenario? How far can you run? 1 to 6.
Yeah.
So somewhere between 20 and 26 movement.
That's big.
Charge.
Great.
Cool. So, again, 19 plus 3d6. That's their movement.
We got somebody in the chat here, Cam3Lot96, how's he moving that fast? Followed by Ixtab. I used to think Nurgle was fast. There is a Nurgle battalion in the Beast of Chaos book, and you can do this and be Nurgle, so you can get those trees on the table and be super quick as well.
Yeah.
Which is super scary, but you just don't need it.
Pardon me?
You just don't need it. You don't need the Nurgle charge when the list's already doing that.
And Dan's actually won, same way he won game 4, he won this exact way. He just had less drops than his opponent, he moved forward on his first turn, he won the game.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the story of how he's won every other game.
Yeah.
Because
which is great, because he's got 8 drops, which traditionally we would consider to be extremely high.
Yeah, exactly. And what's really interesting is he can deploy so deep, as you guys have seen from his level of movement there, you can deploy so deep with this army that even if your opponent is like, okay, I've got less drops than you, engaging with them in the first turn is quite challenging. And like I said, you need something that can do 60 wounds.
Yeah.
Because they're around that. Because they're around, and they're not fully within 6 inches here, so they're not immune to battle shot necessarily. But if they were, for instance, I think Dan knew he was going first, so he didn't. You can effectively make it so that that's 60 wounds that's immune to battle shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're rocking the Enlightened.
And the Enlightened have just moved there, right?
Yeah, they
didn't need to run and charge.
Well, they can run and charge.
Apparently they can't, but they don't need to anyway, because they just fly there.
Oh, thanks.
Right.
At least he's got to make you can fail that charge.
Yeah, quite easily fail that.
That's like a 4. No, that's like a 7-inch charge on that right
7, maybe even 8.
So look, all he's got to do, all that Tom has to do, is use basically only a third of his army to fight all of Dan's army on his first turn, after he's lost 2/3 of his army.
And that's not maths that gets better as time goes on. So what's Dan left at home then? Like we know what's happening. We know what's happening upfield, but
because you think so he's left. So is it? What are you saying? You think they're going to
because that unit has to be wholly within 6, so he's not able to use that.
No.
So
But he can skit a leap a unit.
He could skit a leap a unit and then use it, but
because there's nothing here.
If you skit a leap a unit that's in combat, if you can,
it's just
do they count as retreating?
Yeah.
They do, so they fixed that, because it doesn't if you're Sylvaneth. Just go, bye.
Yeah, Camelot saying, maybe I should order myself some Battletome Zangor. Yeah, now let's not forget where they started. Started here, and now they're here, to quote Kanye. I think that's a Kanye. Oh, you're not?
I have no idea.
You're not a Kanye fan?
No.
You're not a Yeezy?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't know enough about him to say that I dislike him, but I'm not a fan.
On the left or the right? So this charge, he's rolled an 11.
That's a big number.
It's a big number.
So, considering their ability to fly,
side.
And if you look at the rats on the left-hand side, between the Vermin Lords there, their bases, as useful as that V formation is, he's going to be able to keep coherency over those 25mm bases, meaning he can get right onto the objective.
Yeah, and he's going to, and also there's a lovely little triangular gap in there.
Yeah.
Because there's only 25mm bases, he's going to be able to put a unit inside and outside of that, and because the coherency will be still an inch.
So, where are the attacks going to be going? I think, for me, the damage output's super high, but I would want to make absolutely certain that I'm killing the bodies.
Yeah, he's definitely going to do that. As you can see, he's decided to prioritise. So he hasn't prioritised the Warp Seer here. That's because the Warp Seer has a 4-up, re-rollable, immune to rend save that has a 5-up after damage save.
Not quite worth your time.
No, so he's decided to take out everything he can there. And on the right-hand side, he has failed the charge or he's not made the charge. He's rolled. That's a 10.
It's in.
That's a 10.
It's big. That's game.
Is everything getting recalibrated from the Nurgle base? It should be relatively slow. How fast will the Celestial be? Yeah, I agree.
They'll have won before you arrive at the event.
Yeah, so effectively what's happened here is he has to hold on to the centre objective for 2 turns, while simultaneously challenging and threatening these objectives. However, and then also this objective to win the game, which he can't. Therefore, the game's over.
Yes.
Also just to make it interesting, he's also got the Zangor in.
Okay, and that's the 60 wound blob unit. That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. So swamping. This is the tactic. This is how it works.
This is what the French did at the team tournament, right, at Nottingham recently, where they just had all of the models in the world on the board.
It's swamping is my term for it. So if you've never heard it before,
I haven't.
Then
I mean, I understand it immediately, and I've seen it.
Yeah. This is the. I can clip this, and I'm going to use this in the tutorial on a video. This is swamping.
This is how to make a swamp out of goats.
Out of goats. No one wants a goat. I mean, I don't even want goats.
Many people want a goat swamp. Goat farmers, goat eaters, consumers of goat's cheese. There's a market there. Be not so rash in your judgment.
And also, and this is quite important, so while it is a number of bodies within 6 inches, so potentially there's enough there.
So that's where we're seeing that triangular formation that Tom's come up with, potentially keeping the Zangor only fighting the big threats and hopefully keeping the bodies alive so that Dan's not burning it turn 1. But if the vermin lords are dead,
this is such a stupid game. This is overwhelmingly ridiculous. And all it required was some charge rolls.
And not even difficult ones.
No, I mean, he rolled an 11 on the left, but he didn't need it. I think
he really didn't need it.
No, like if you guys were tuning in for a tactical game of AOS,
there's been some tactics, but they were before the game.
Yes, yeah, and again, John, if you can cut back to us,
it's in knowing what the scenarios are going to be.
Yeah, there is a tactic, John. If you cut back to us one more time, cause it's important because what we're learning to do is There we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win the game. Solid work there. So really chuffed with the AOS master showing us the top level skills to take away.
Push your toys at your opponent until your opponent is dead.
Back to the table.
Yeah.
Back to the table. Let's go. While we work out what's happening with the foregone conclusion before the game started, final here, we're going to go and find out what's happening around the rest of the tournament because maybe one of those is more interesting.
It's possible.
Maybe, just maybe. Now we've got a few foregone conclusions, so a few games that I've marked down already to just kind of be following all day or for the rest of the day. Turns out, nope. So straight away to my right, you've got Alan versus you've got Andy versus Alan. Legion of Nagash mirror match. They played in the first game, and it was virtually a draw. They're back on table 3. They're back up the top. They've agreed on a draw. They just agreed flat out. We're going to do a draw because all I would do is stay here with Nagash. All you would do is stay there with Nagash, and we're just going to have the same from game 1 because it was just a grindy game, and it just went nowhere. And they just spent 2.5 hours just glaring at each other, and it didn't work. So they've decided not to do that. They happen to have another army lying around, so they've just playing a completely different game for fun. Table 4, this is James versus Andy. James has got Beasts of Chaos versus Andy's Legion of Sacrament. Andy Hughes with the Legion of Sacrament. James has got the first go. He's got Beasts of Chaos. So as we've seen on table 1, it's potentially just shove the army up the board and maybe Andy's been very cagey with his deployment and he's done a really good job of that. And he's got a lot of Grimgar Sweepers. I think he's got 90 or so on there, so it's a ridiculous amount. Table 5, this is Steve versus Ben. Steve Curtis with his Flesh Eater Courts versus Ben Curry with his Daughters of Cain. They're both 5-drop. Ben won the roll-off to start deploying first, so he has actually gone first. The one thing with that game is Ben will be quite used to playing against Flesh Eater Courts with a variety of armies potentially. Ben has said to me that he is a playtester, so he's a bit more aware of what's going on with the Flesh Eater Courts. So that'll be an interesting one. Steve's a really good player, and they both kind of said turn 1, round 1, they're kind of going to know, and that's the same around the entire hall with this scenario. End of turn 1, you'll know who's won the game generally. There'll be some others that grind it out, and there'll be for kill points for that sort of thing. But in that first turn that Ben took, he's failed cogs. Then he got a reroll and failed it again. He was devastated. He had a very smug face as he picked up to roll, and then he was devastated when that didn't pull off. We've then got Jamie versus Lee over my shoulder here. That is 90% chance it's going to be Jamie wins that one. He's got Adneth Deepkin. He's got less drops than Lee. Lee, who was on the telly earlier with Flesh Eater Courts. 5 drops, Jamie. 6 drops for Lee. Again, that's essentially a round 1 game over type scenario with that, which is a real shame because that could be a great matchup, great fight. The kind of previous and kind of well-known filth could be going up against the new filth, but I just don't think that's meant to be. In fact, they may have already called that one. Moving further down the hall, then we've got Tom Bell versus James Williams. Now, this is an Iron Jaws mirror match, which is rare as all hell because there's only 2 of them here, and they happen to end up playing against each other. And they're not absolute bottom tables. I think they both won 1 each. So the one Iron Jaws are going to go 2 out of 5, which is great. Tom has taken turn 1, cast Foot of Gork, and just immediately popped a Maw Crusher. So just absolutely devastated him. I've just done a little rundown of armies in the top 20 and percentages of what we've got. So collectively, the new, Flesh Eater Courts and Skaven make up 35% of the top 20. So there's 7 of them in total. Beasts of Chaos make up 15%. Legions of Nagash is 20% of the top 20 are Legions of Nagash, which is pretty big. You've got 5% with only 1 person with Daughters of Cain. There's 2 Idoneth Deepkin and 2 Mixed Order in the top 20, which is really quite interesting. Idoneth Deepkin maybe not as much of a surprise as Mixed Order. But that is all I have for now. I'm going to go and have a bit of a scurry around and find some more, hopefully non-foregone conclusions. And in the meantime, hand back to the boys for the top tables for you.
Which Adam. Congratulations, Dan. You have won that game. That is the end of that. So if you've just joined us, this is the very first turn in turn 1 for Beast of Chaos versus Skaven. What happened was he moved all of his models forward, he burnt all of the objectives, and he won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and Tom's response was, I didn't have enough bodies. That's the end of the game. So congratulations, that's 5-0 for the Beast of Chaos. Now there is another person who potentially can win the tournament, and that would be either Mr. Ben Johnson or it will be Mark Wildman with the same exact list. Now I've been over to the table to review the... Ben has actually got less drops, so what he's going to be able to do is use some command points to summon.
Yeah.
Also go first and do kind of what Dan has done.
So he's got the Archregent in there, and if he's on that throne, he's able to summon without using command points as well. So there's a lot of summoning coming that way.
And what's really important is, as we've seen with those Ghoul Kings on Terrorgeist, what we've seen with those Ghoul Kings on Terrorgeist, they will go through. We talked about what kills a block of 30 Zangor or kills a block of 9 Alliance.
Is it a Ghoul King on Terrorgeist?
Ghoul King on Terrorgeist. If you ever want to know what kills... No, just one.
Just one.
Just one kills anything in the game.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything in the game that survives a round of combat from one of them.
Let's have a think about an Eidolon of the Sea in cover that's mystical.
Yep.
1-up, re-rolling, ignoring things on a 6.
Can he survive 18 mortal wounds?
No, he can't. What about Frostheart Phoenix in a Mixed Order list that's had 8 spells cast near it?
Twitch chat, if you can come up with the thing that can survive a buffed up Ghoul King on Terrorgeist.
My money is Frostheart Phoenix next to Mystical Terrain with Master of Defense.
Could potentially do it.
Could potentially. Mathematically has maybe a wound left.
Maybe.
But you can roll those dice. It could just all be 4-ups and you're laughing.
Yeah, that's true.
Get yourself some of those Warhammer TV dice.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe the... So, Xtab, the fully defensive Warp Seer actually was there earlier, and we saw it die to Lee Bromley's game in the last round.
Wow.
Yeah. Stardrake dies. Sorry.
Stardrake dies, yeah.
Look at that. A Stardrake? Dead. If you'd like to name things, I'll just... Nagash? Dead.
Nagash is dead to, like, non-Flesh Eater Courts dragons.
You could actually do... what actually would be really, really good is you could actually have Nagash with Neferata, so that a Neferata pops command ability, so you're -2 to hit. That would actually negatively affect them. Yeah.
So the deceiver is gone.
Good.
That's news from the battlefield. I don't know that we were surprised though.
Why are we watching the game? The game's over. The game's
11 clan rats are dead.
All right. Okay. Good.
So
that's actually quite actually that's not enough.
That's not enough. No. So that's quite interesting. That's what I was thinking. It's not. You're going to need to put all of the damage into the clan rats in order to get the superiority of numbers there. And
we would have assumed that he would, though, right? You put every attack that you can into the clan rats.
Yeah.
Win the game.
Yeah.
And then everything else into just the
Perhaps
other thing.
those D3s on discs came up as ones.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So I don't think that's enough because he's only got within 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within 6 versus.
It looks like 4 within 6 to me. I think.
Okay.
So he's not getting that one, but is that Vermin Lord? That's the big thing though. There are no command points for the Skaven. 11 dead clan rats.
Right.
Is all the dead clan rats.
Right. Okay. I mean the Corruptor, who is in there in the mix at the minute. He makes everything within 26 inches immune to battle shot.
But those clan rats need to be wholly within 26, and they are not.
No. They're not. They're not. No, I was just pointing that out. I was just like, that would be cool. But yeah.
Only one of the Enlightened has been killed in retribution by the Warseer there. The Warpseer on the left flank.
Yeah.
Which is as we predicted.
So we'll come to the conclusion of whether or not that game is 100% over or not. But let's go to table 2, where we've been following Nikos' journey through the adventures, and there we go. So same scenario that we're facing. In this situation, Liam, who's got a Nighthaunt army, it's a really cool army. It's got loads of banshees.
Beautiful, yeah, nicely
really
converted,
like
really striking scheme.
Yeah, it's got 6 spirit hosts right there. So he is basically looking for the charge. What he's done, because Nikos has got the chameleon skinks, and what they'll be able to do is to drop into objectives, and just score. So Liam has gone on the offensive, and the situation is this: if he charges and he clears enough of these screens, so he won't be able to take that left-hand objective because no matter what he rolls for the charge, unless he rolls a 10 to attack and then attack again, he won't be able to kill enough over there. But the centre, he's got off the charge, and he's got the engine and some more skinks. So I'm pretty certain he's going to take that. And he, as you can see, he hasn't got the objective on the right. Hold on to the centre here, and that's the situation you're faced with. He's going to burn all of his back objectives. And then Nick, who can teleport units and also just shoot units out, whether or not Nick effectively goes and tries to cap his own, because then Nick has to hold on to his objectives, which is a different ballpark. But with Liam going first, Nick's got the priority roll, there's loads to happen.
And are we 100% certain that you can move away from the objectives turn 1 in better part of Valour? I thought that you needed to hold them at the end of the turn. For my money, it looks to me like Liam's abandoned those ones at the back. I know he's done it intentionally, but I think he's reading the scenario wrong, and I think that you have to at least hold it that turn.
Yes, agreed. But you score it at the end of your movement phase, or the beginning of your movement phase if you're within, and then you move off. You can have them, so you when you capture is in your movement phase.
And when do you burn them then?
At the end of the turn.
At the end of the turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you capture in the movement.
Oh, then you can do it in this one. It must be the other identical deployment that you can't.
But in that one, what's really cool is you can't burn objectives in the first turn.
Sure.
But in this one you can.
Yeah, so he's done the right thing here, and as you say, he's looking for those big charges to dictate what's going on. But if Nikos is able to hold on to one objective for the whole game, and Liam's burning them, it's a nightmare.
Well, I think getting this charge off in the middle means that he won't. I don't think he'll necessarily take it. He won't necessarily burn those at the back, but he may because of the camo skins.
Camo skinks are such a threat. We've been talking about them all weekend. They did super good work against the Sylvaneth. They're just so hard to deal with.
Really expensive, 120 points, but Nick's decided that the investiture of 360 points, the same cost as a unit of Grimghast Reapers. Yeah. In 15 wounds. Of little fellas. Right.
And I'm just getting in my ear. We've seen the handshake on the top table.
Top table. Let's look at the game.
All over.
Let's look at the game.
So let's have a look at how the battlefield is.
Let's go back to top table 1 just for a second. There you go. It's the end of the game. Called it.
Well done.
Called it. I called it at reading the scenario.
You did.
There we go.
Before deployment.
So what an underwhelming game.
Yes.
But let's call it like we see it.
It is.
But a good lesson for everyone at home watching.
They've all been burnt. He's managed to do the big thing and take control of all six. They've all been burnt.
Yeah, a max. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, if you guys are unsure of what could happen in your games of Age of Sigmar, be super conscious that this can happen to you.
Yeah.
And have enough bodies. The problem is in this situation is actually the Enlightened are actually really, really good in combat, as are the Zangor. So they not only need to be good bodies, they need to be incredibly defensive bodies. And Dan's won 5 games in a row with this build. Yeah, so he's won 5 games. And then Mark, who's got exactly the same list, who's playing for the win as well, on the other table, has got exactly the same list.
Yeah.
They do the same job, they just go forward, and there we go.
And it's over just like that.
Yeah, personally, I would say that the scenario is a worse choice than the fact that this army exists. But what's really impactful, realistically, with this army, is that probably Enlightened are a little bit too cheap points-wise. And what's really key, is they're probably a little bit too cheap. But he's won 4 other scenarios.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, if we're going to talk about the scenario, I can see the selection of it if it's round 5. People have got to get home, and this one's over immediately.
I mean, including us.
Including us, and that's fine.
However, thankfully, because of the technology, and if this was any other Warhammer stream, what they'd be doing.
Well, see you later. We're going to put you back onto a holding screen.
To 10,000 people for 4 hours. But instead, we're going to go to another game.
Still in the realm of Ulgu.
Ulgu, not Uglu.
Ulgu. The realm of shadow itself. It seems to be suggesting that ugly people are in the shadows, which is a bit mean.
I know.
It's poor, really,
John's
isn't it?
doing really well. As always, hammered last night on the beers. But he's making it through today as well as he can. I'd like everyone to know that the honest-wargamer stream, when we do the live coverage, is 50% caffeine, 50% beer.
Yeah, I've not had either of those things today, and I'm floundering.
It's 100% charm.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
That's you. You bring the 100% charm, so I appreciate that. You can't screen any better than Wargaming Dad. Talking about the last game, you can't screen any better. There's no way. What you can do is deploy deep enough that they can't get the charge off.
Yeah.
That's important. But then I think they can still move fast enough that they still are on the objective, and then you're not on the objective. Does that make sense?
Yes. So what are you going to do? Lose, apparently.
Oh, wait, so...
We're still in the charge phase.
Oh, we're still in the charge phase.
So it's just on another team, so that other unit is now going to fight before the charge phase is finished.
Wow.
So the Spirit Host rolled a 10 as well. So the Spirit Host rolled... Oh, okay, so we thought the charges were over. He hasn't made a charge on the right-hand side either.
He's just made that charge.
He's
still in the charge phase, so this unit is now going to charge and attack.
Right.
Amazing.
So, everyone, this is really interesting. This game is also over.
Yeah.
Because of some 10 and 12-inch charges. So in Nighthorn, Adam, 12-inch charge, you get to attack, but immediately before the combat phase. Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not completely over.
No, Nick has
because
to hold this objective until the end of the game.
Yeah, if Liam takes 5 now and burns them, he's only got 5 points, and Nick can hold on till about round 5 and score 8. And it's possible, but unlikely.
Oh, super unlikely. Because really, in this situation over here, he's lost 4 Razordons, and most of his output is Razordons. He's also then... So yeah, these Spirit Hosts have still got to attack. Yeah. They haven't yet attacked.
Well, we're still in the charge phase, right?
Yeah, we're still in the charge phase. So these Banshees have wiped out another unit of Skinks. When those Spirit Hosts pile in, they're going to take out those Razordons. And the Banshees may also add a little bit to that, but I think they're probably outside of range because they've kicked it. Which means this unit here hasn't even yet attacked. Which is going to take out these Skinks, and then they're going to outnumber. So in this situation, he's going to own all 5 objectives.
Yeah.
The right-hand side, he's safe though. But in retaliation, Nick has got his
Razordons
there. Now they could take it, and he's also got the Stegodon. Yeah. They're going to get to do some combat. And
one way of dealing with Nighthorn is weight of shots. Ren's not helping you, but the Razordons are kicking out so many attacks that they are thinning those numbers in a way that a lot of other armies just can't.
Yeah. The double attack?
Yeah.
The reason we've seen Flesh Eaters do so well is they've just gone, I win.
Yeah,
because they just attack twice, But in this case, and what's really sad for Nikos in this scenario, is his opponent has just rolled the dice. I like the Nighthaunt Allegiance ability. Some people don't, but it's because it statistically doesn't happen very often. And you can't, if you're playing top tier Warhammer, you can't rely on it.
Sure.
Therefore, if it's unreliable, and you'll know a lot of those sorts of gamers, they won't take it.
Yeah, I do, and they don't.
No, they don't. They're just like, nope, that's not for me.
This math is not 85%. No.
I shan't have this. I would say that as long as you couldn't burn to fix the scenario. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
He just rolled 2 more 12-inch charges. We're going to get his dice checked. Liam, by the way, is a lovely man, but we need to check his dice. Yeah.
That is extreme, to say the least. That is extreme.
So he's got 4 over 10-inch charges, which means he has struck 4 times before the combat phase.
That is insane. Like, do you even need a combat phase at that point?
It's all dead, Dave. What a dumb pair of games we've just watched. Like, if you guys
watch was a strong term.
Yeah, we've performed the roast.
We've been talking. We've been talking this weekend about how we're bringing you 10 games, 5 rounds, but these 2 games haven't collectively made one game.
What we've done is 8 games and 2 roasts, and I'm up for it. This is brilliant.
It's not even 2 full battle rounds.
It was half a turn. On the top table, it was half a turn.
But it was a foregone conclusion way before that.
Yeah, it was a foregone conclusion. Sorry, how many drops do you have? 9. I've won the game. Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? I mean, if we're looking at the end of core pack, this isn't in it.
No. Hey, now AOS is an amazing game, and this situation only comes up because of this scenario.
Yeah.
Right?
And all of these players have had to have won 3 or 4 games to get to this point.
Not Nikos and
not Nikos
Liam.
and Liam, but they're not that far off the pace either.
We've had the points updated there.
Wow. John's getting involved in the slander.
Right, look, let's cut back to us, right? Because, he had to roll the dice for the charges.
He did have to roll the dice for the charges, but he didn't need to roll them that well. He'd have got into combat without rolling 11s and 12s.
Look how Davey thought this is.
It's lovely.
Look at the working man's go. I look ridiculous. This is overexposed. We need to fix this.
This over there, there's a huge gap.
Yeah, there's a bit of a screen.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You guys
Someone was saying yesterday they should kickstart an Honest Wargamer backdrop. And
I hate the backdrops. I normally like it. It's just we're super closed in. Yeah. Look, you guys have been amazing. Adam, you've been great. Thank you so much this weekend.
Thank
you
you
enjoyed
so much.
it?
I've had an amazing,
What's it like
time.
Trying to commentate a game where it's already over?
It's quite funny. That's for one, and that's something I need on my Sunday afternoons. It also allows us to kind of talk in more detail about the theory behind what's going on, which I guess is useful for people watching at home. It's the sort of stuff that we do loads. We're turning colour all over the place there. It's that exciting.
An Instagram film on my booty.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Keep going, John. This is terrible TV, which I'm enjoying. I can't wait for them to be like, have you seen that professional stream? Not this one.
Not this one, no. These guys look like they're in Las Vegas at the moment.
All right, nice.
It's good to be able to categorically go the reasons that in an otherwise pretty balanced game where lots of different allegiances are doing well and doing different things at different events, this scenario isn't that. And here's why. And although it might be fun on a Tuesday night down at your club, it shouldn't really be deciding table 1.
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. That's why I think you should always put take and hold in the scenario pack.
Yeah.
Because that minimises how many people. Because you've still got 2 people who are going to be on 2 major victories at the end of the tournament, right?
Yes, at an event of this size, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a small one, right? There is a trippy Git shaman behind the camera doing this. Look. At the end of the day, that's what we're covering. So that's what's going on. I got to say, big thank you to the TOs because they've been really supportive this weekend and helped us out.
It's been super good.
Sheffield Slaughter. I think they're moving venue next year.
I don't know if they've announced that yet. We just did. Possibly.
But it's because they were oversubscribed to this. Loads of people
You
on
can
the
see
waiting
John
list.
now in the top corner. He's leaning
John,
forwards.
this still is. I'm so white. This is anyway. Expect bigger and better things from the Sheffield Slaughter in the future.
You now match the colour scheme of Liam's army. You've got the red.
It's only blue. This isn't the LVO. Right. Oh God! Just stop it. Right, what were we saying? So that's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
When they go to a bigger venue. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing more coverage this year as well for me.
Absolutely.
It's been a great event, and all the players have been really friendly and kind. It's been really, really nice. Everyone's been really cool. Everyone's been super sweet. I think it's been really interesting that we've seen Fleshgate Thoughts and Skaven do so well.
Yeah, and like immediately out of the gate. And we do see that with books. I mean, when Nighthaunt first came out, you saw them winning tournaments. I was having a chat with Andy Hughes earlier before I interviewed him in round 4. He doesn't think that FAC are going to be there because people will just figure out how to deal with them. Nobody's read the book yet, apart from people who've had it previously.
So there's a court back to him on the way. And Wrathmongers are something that a Ghoul King,
oh my God,
they do not want to.
No.
But so
and there's very little corn here, right? There's the big dragon and like 10 blokes who are cheerleaders. Kill the thing.
So they're in a tough spot. So Khorne could do that job. I personally think that the most innovative list here, or the most interesting list. Now I haven't seen all of them, so if you are watching back, that's not me being rude. I just haven't seen them all. But I love Tom's list. Tom Walton's list, it's just great. I think, and it's also what's really nice about it. It's kind of been echoing the feeling that I've had, and this could be a personal thing, so I could be wrong, but it's got loads of room to learn to play.
Yes.
He can make loads of mistakes with that for the next 6 months, but 6 months' time, he's going to be so strong with that army. I think.
And it could be going to the ETC. Let's be honest. Tom's the England captain, so that list could be doing big things for sure.
So for the actual event, who won is still undecided. Mr. Dan Bradshaw has won 5 games in a row.
Yeah, and if no one else manages to, that's first place sorted out.
Yeah. But there's also 2 people, so Ben and Mark, who could potentially win it.
One of them, no one draws in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, so unless there's a minor victory, which is unlikely in this scenario.
But what's interesting, if Mark wins, it's the same list. So both of them will have gone 5-0. So that list itself, not saying it's the list. I mean, it's implied, but I'm not saying it.
I didn't hear you say it.
I didn't say it, but it's...
No.
I mean, someone out there will imply it.
It could be implied.
It could be implied. That's the way to say it, thank you. It could be implied, but hopefully Mark loses, therefore there's a safety net if it's not the list. Or Fleshgate Thoughts can potentially be up for the win with 4 Ghoul Kings on top of Dragons.
No, he's got 2 unridden Terror Guys, I think, in Ben's list, because they're his menagerie.
Oh, yes, he's got 2 normal Terror Guys. And that game could be over real soon as well. But one of those 2 will win.
Just looking over from here, it does look like a lot of the zombie dragons are trying to climb onto Mark Waldman's lap.
Yeah.
So that may well have gone in that direction.
No, it's gone the other way, I think, but we'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to tweet the response out, is what we're going to do. We're not going to keep ad-libbing on. You've been amazing. I've got to say thank you. I've got to say thank you to everyone on Twitch. If you're watching back on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook or anything, we love your support. We've only been able to do this because of everyone on Patreon and Twitch. So if you are one of our Patreon members, this has all been thanks to you, so thank you. If you're one of the Twitch subscribers, you guys have been amazing as well. And then I've got to say thank you to Scrivo, who's been doing all the work. You can see him there.
Just in the corner, thumbs up.
Big shout out to Chuckabutty rolling around doing the live reporting, that's been cool. And also thank you to Nathan, who's been doing all the work as well.
Right.
I can't wait to do more coverage. We've got Bobo. Bobo's going to be a level above of coverage you've never seen before. So
I cannot wait. I'm not going to be presenting at that one,
It's
I'm afraid.
your 30th
It's my
birthday.
30th birthday the week after. We're bringing a bunch of guys up from Angel. I know there's a big contingent coming over with Bastion Games from Northern Ireland as well.
there is. What the beautiful Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And also, Heralds of War is on the way as well. We did the crowdfund to bring Clint over, the organiser of CanCon.
No way.
And on the Friday night of that, which you'll be able to watch live, the organiser of the world's largest Age of Sigmar in the Southern Hemisphere versus John, who's here right now, the organiser of the world's largest Age of Sigmar event in the Northern Hemisphere. Battle it out. It's a battle of the hemispheres.
Wow.
That's cool, right?
That's going to be amazing.
And I'm from Nottingham and you're from London, so we've already got the north-south divide sorted. So
We've
you're
got
in
it covered.
Australia's side, right? I'm on Australia.
I would say
side.
so, yeah.
I'm going to Australia. You can go for John.
I feel like I need John to have a really good few months, or my birthday is going to suck.
I'm also at Flood Tide, so there's loads
So
of
am I.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
I'll be doing the coverage. So
I'll be playing.
There's loads of stuff coming up. Thanks very much to everyone who creates everything. We only stop preambling on now. Let's just go on with it.
Let's do that.
Monday, obviously, there'll be the wrap-up show. So me and Nathan will be talking all through the event this weekend. We're talking about what we think we've learned, what we think, some of which you've heard here now, and yeah, it's been great. Thank you. You guys just keep being great. Thank you.